No, no idea. Are you absolutely sure? He asked. I didn't understand how it was so important. At that moment, to me, it was like the universe. It was there and we were in it regardless of where it came from or who had done it. I'm sure, I said. Shit. Okay, he said, glancing over his shoulder to look at the street. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna give you some cash, and tomorrow you're gonna use it to buy yourself a bus ticket. Anything that's cheap and will take you far away from here as soon as possible. With the rest of that money, rent a motel room. Again, as cheap as you can find. Stay there and see how long it takes them to catch up. Figure out how it works. Find odd jobs to get yourself more money. And buy another bus ticket if you need it. You figure it out and you make a plan, okay? Something broke inside of me then. Andy's voice, the aluminum, I knew to be true, but didn't want to accept it. But I need to guarantee it. If you stay here, you won't graduate. You won't get far. You need to figure this out. And to do that, you need to move around, learn how it works. Otherwise, you'll put yourself and those close to you in danger. And how would you know that? I said, the words coming out as near screams. I don't, he confessed. But you said it's gotten worse over time, yes? That you can barely function at school and you will never see your friends anymore. And now you've been staying almost every night at the bar for what, a month? I nodded. Even if I wasn't aware of it, I was already running from them. Staying at Andy's every night was proof of that. So it's safe to assume it's only going to get worse, he continued. And if you have no idea how you got this curse, then you've got no option but to figure it out. And once I'm gone, you're all alone at night. Think about that. I don't know how it would end, but it won't be good. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I understand. He pulled out his wallet and, with shaking hands, grabbed everything he had in the bill slot and gave it to me. There was at least $200. I pocketed the wad of bills. Go home. And when you can, go get the bus ticket. The earlier, the better. Figure it out. You're strong, Donnie. You can do it. The first silvers of light began to play in the horizontal. I was about to say something to Annie, but all I could remember coming out of my mouth was nonsense. Words of gratitude and fright and pleading melt into a sob mess of gibberish. I must have been so shaken because Annie, even though he shook as well, grabbed my sides and stabilized me. He looked in the eyes and said, "Good luck, Donnie." And I turned to go home. Annie walked hurriedly towards the sunrise. The next day, I did exactly as he told me. I went to go get a bus ticket. I told the lady at the desk to give me the cheapest long-distance ticket she had. I never said goodbye to my parents. I never saw my friends again. The first year was the hardest, but it taught me some valuable lessons which served me well for the rest of my life. 1. It took them about 2 months to catch up. Although it makes no sense to me, I had to accept it as it was. Curses don't abide by natural law. And it worked with Annie's theory, which in my mind gave it more validity. I doubted that the shadows used buses and road maps to find me, but maybe it was something more physiological. Like they wouldn't let me settle down. They'd tear down whatever life I tried to build, force me to abandon it before it even really got started. A false sense of security. 2. Post offices, construction, and restaurants were the best odd jobs. They were needed workers, and it wasn't unusual for them to have people come in and out. At the very least, I could get some money to sustain myself. 3. No relationships. One time I got mixed up with this girl, and when I started to see the shadows, I had to leave her. I felt so bad for her, but what else could I have done? This curse was infectious, it seemed. It was smart and deliberate. There are 1,000 other rules and religions I made for myself, but those 3 set the first year truly saved my life. Like Annie had told me, I'd figure it out, and I'd gotten good at all at it. And I guess I got used to it. The life, I mean. It was different and very lonely, but it was a life. And I got to see a lot of stuff because of the constant traveling, silver lining, and all that. That was so long ago. The first year turned to the first few, and then I hit the 10-year mark, then 20, and so on. The date I had left my hometown replaced my birthday. It was more important. It was my calendar, my sun, and my compass by which I regulated my life. I got so good at it that I almost completely stopped seeing them. I could evade the curse's corruption before it even began. Sometimes I think it had stopped and I spent too long in one place. Then they caught up to me, and I was once again reminded of the curse. But I got better and better, so much better that now it's been 20 years without seeing them. The 20 years before that provided to me that they wouldn't go away. So yes, I haven't seen them in a long time. So long that I began to forget what they look like, what they feel like, until now, which is why I'm writing this story for all of you, which is why I can once again recall their form and their movements, but now it's worse than ever. Old age has taken a toll, and I'm unable to run any longer. I'm sure my unorthodox lifestyle didn't do me any favors either, never having a home, someone to come home to. I regret it so much. I miss my parents, who were long gone dead. I found out through the internet some years ago on the autopsy when they write missed by such and such. I wasn't included. I guess that makes sense. I miss Andy, the man who saved my life, but I hate him so much for it. Now I wish I had stayed, graduated. I wish I'd told someone, tried seeking help, even if they couldn't provide it. At least my parents would have known what took their son. My friends could have visited me at the mental asylum or attended my funeral. But now I'm stuck. I'm too old to run. So after all these years of cat and mouse, they've caught up to me. I stayed at a fancy hotel. I decided if I'm to die, I wish it to be somewhere fancy. It took a lot more of my savings, but money doesn't matter anymore. I won't have a will either. Who am I to give it to when I have no one? They're all around me now. They creep in the shadows and stare me awake just as I'm about to fall asleep. They torture me in these adaptable ways, yet they don't attack my person. It's like they want to take their time with me. I guess after all this time, As they finally caught their prey, they wish to make me suffer, take their sweet time with me. They're no longer afraid of the light of crowds. I see them everywhere. Behind the young man at the lobby who gave me the key, crawling on the ceiling of my room, behind the windows, scratching on the glass in long, stern streaks. Their pointed, long tongues scraped on the wood furniture, their long arms scattered like snakes under my bed, leaving rusted stains on the carpet. Their bodies, made of dark flesh, taunt me as they walk around my room, and their faces, oh God, their faces, like charcoal with the sharp teeth of a shark. They stare at me, their bloodshot eyes rounding and unblinkingly. And soon they will take me, I'm sure of it. This is my goodbye to nobody and everyone. I never found out how I come upon this curse, but I fought it the only way I could. If you ever happen upon a curse like mine, do not run. Face it. It's better to love until the end than wither away in desolation.